Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Bracket Fighters, where we'll take the heroes of Dimension 20 and let them fight against each other to find out who is the strongest. Today, we have the side quest people here. We've done this before with the Intrepid heroes, but today you will see, as you see here on the left and here on the right, it is the side quest character's turn. And I know that not all of them are fighters, but I feel like this will make this way more interesting and funny in another way. But today is all about who is the strongest. And now our first matchup is Quinn versus Gwendolyn, I think. Yes. And we have the Spinch or nah, do we have Quinn? Because I feel like the Spinch would win. Quinn? Because Gwendolyn, she has magic. Don't forget, like, they don't really fight, but they do have magic. So, and she's the patron. Like, she's not a warlock, she's the patron of warlock. So, I feel like she has some power to her. But the Gladlands are scrappy. However, no, I'm gonna give this to Quinn. Not to Quinn, to Gwendolyn. Okay, Cargo versus Poppy. Now, there were some fighting in the Tiny Heist, but I have not seen it in such a long time. What kind of like deal or let's say class was Cargo? I honestly don't remember any of his moves. Like probably he can turn into a car, but I don't know. Was he a barbarian type of character? And also important, are the toy size or not? This is something because we also have the stoats. Are the stoat size or not? Yeah, but even so, I feel like Poppy again. That Gladlands are scrappy, and Poppy I feel like would just she could take it. I feel like she could take on Cargo. I feel like she will just flick him off or flick him over and be not really impressed with him. Okay, G13 versus Boomer. Is that his name? I think so. And G13, by the way, all of the Never Stop Blowing Up people will have the best versions, which in my mind, is the combined versions. Probably the best version would be if the superhero versions, or not the superhero, but the action movie versions are on their own. However, for me, the best versions are the combined versions. I'm gonna say I think we will make them human-sized, our tiny people here, and therefore Boomer will definitely win this one. Ooh, the fix. I forgot that he's here. He is a tough cookie. However, T is kinda does she count as a child? Because he has a soft spot for children. Like he reminds me of Johnny McCone from the Dresden Files, if you know that, where Johnny McCone is kind of like a ruthless killer, but he doesn't do or want any harm to kids at all. That's kind of like not his whole deal, but part of his deal. Yeah, but in a fight, I think T's thing were explosives, and yeah, I still think the fix would win this. Oh wow. I mean, Princess. It's Princess. I'm sorry. Oh god, I always forgot his name, and I cannot even. I know I have trouble pronouncing his name, but if you try to court her, maybe you have a chance because she's looking for a suitor, even though no, she found one at the end of season 2. But it is the princess. All the time, it's the princess. I'm sorry, your mother will be disappointed in you. Oh no, no, Mr. Fox. Now, if the toads are also human-sized or like regular-sized, again, I mean, the emotions are also not really corporeal, so, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is Jason or... what's the other one called? I forgot the name, but I think this is Jason, and I feel like Jason would win. I'm sorry, Mr. Fax, but you would come out there and try to talk your way out of it, but no. No. Ooh, okay, the infighting between the people of escaping the Bloodkeep. However, this is also the season that it makes the most sense where it is infighting happening. So we have a spellcaster versus a druid, basically, or like an animal-based character. It's a tough one. I could see it go either way. It basically is a question of distance, because if they're far apart, our oh god, what's it called? Elflin? I think Efkin. Efkin was the name, I feel like. Our spellcasting, future-seeing elf over here. She is, of course, an advantage when they're far apart. But if it is close combat, then yeah, she will get her head bashed in by this axe. And here also has Jeremy, and I feel like I would give them their pets and their steeds as well, to help them in the fight. Yeah, it could go either way. I'm gonna give it to our diva over here, because I love to support the divas, and I feel like the spell casting, people also need some representation. So I feel like she has some dirty, bloody things up her sleeve. Oh no, I think Leland, is that your name? I think, and Tia. So these two definitely will go in close quarter combat. And we have basically a sword versus a wrestler. Yeah, but I feel like this one would go to Leland because he is undead or like something like that. And she's a minotaur. Like, don't get me wrong, but it feels like he would have the upper hand. I think. Oh, oh, Evan, Mr. Calm. Against May. I feel like her name was May. Maybe I don't remember all the name. Excuse me. And she's kind of a vampire, but it goes to Evan. It just goes to him. No, not those two are going against up each other. Because they're both played by Reka. So Daisy Dumpster versus Maggie. I love you, Daisy, but yeah, Maggie takes this one. So we have Sylvester versus Viola, Tula. I think that's his Tula. They're actually both kind of like not smarty pants, but they both can use their brain to get what they want. And actually, kind of both of them are animals. If a fox and a stoat would be fighting, who would win? Probably the fox in real life, maybe, but the stoats, they are really quick things. I think Tula is a little bit more quicker on the draw than our Sylvester, because Sylvester he's of age, let's say. Oh my god, these two! I would love to see these two bickering. Ava and what's your name? Okay, look this one up. Agnes. I needed to know this diva's name. They both are like giving the "don't fuck with me, fellas" vibe that I love. The Stoats, the Stoats have a little bit more of a ruthlessness to them, so I'm gonna give this to Ava. Lord Squark and Tabitha, and I mean, it goes to the cat. Ooh, I'm interested. Connor versus A-Tension. Because Connor is kind of like, he is not so self-assured, and A-Tension could use that to her advantage. Like, I feel like she really could use her talking skills to take Connor out of balance, basically, and make a sneak attack, kind of. Oh my god, Dimension 20 on the bus. I forgot you over here, folks. I mean, listen, if the army man... The question is this gun working? Or not? And Lady Chirp has lost her gift of light. That's something that we find out. So I'm gonna give this actually to the army man. Even if the gun isn't working, I feel like he could at least use it as a melee weapon. Oh, Rick Diggins versus Kronos. And yeah, this is going to go to Kronos. Even though, Rick Diggins, I love you, but no, you're not that kind of fighter. Even though I need to say Rick Diggins is like high on fairy dust at times, but even with that, maybe that is the way that he could beat Kronos, but I don't feel like it is. He could use it every round, so he will probably be out in the next round, so no, Kronos is better. Now to these two, Rue and Alexander, I think. I'm gonna give this to... Isn't Rue, she's a beautiful creature, but she is also an owl bear. I don't wanna reduce her to that, but she is freaking strong, so yeah. She doesn't like to do it, but if it comes down to it, I feel like Alexander... I'm sorry, your invention don't really stand a chance, even though you fought werewolves. But, yeah, no, I'm gonna give this to Rue. And when they fought werewolves, they were like running away. They were on their carriage, basically trying to get away from the werewolves. So they did not really fight them. So yeah. Rue, you get this. Rue de la Rose. Oh my god, okay. This picture is like really cute of the stoat, but Adonis, you get this one, and this is the other child, the one that I forgot the name. Now Miss Pulse versus Jammer. Interesting. Jammer has his things under control. He's not really lashing out, so I don't feel like she can influence him that much. Usually has it under control. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Jammer, even though, yeah, no, he's the one. No, I don't think like these two would ever start fighting. There's no way that this would happen, ever. Honestly, I think they would hurt themselves before they hurt each other. But we are here to see this fight come to a conclusion. And I think Yugi... this is so dark to say, but I feel like Yugi might be able to poison Kokomo. Now, is the poison going to be effect against Kokomo? I don't know, but I don't see Kokomo truly ever doing anything against Yugi, and Yugi being like, okay, listen, buddy, I know this is hard, but I need to trick you somehow to take in some poison. And Kokomo will be like, I know, buddy. I took it because I knew one of us had to go. And I'd rather have it to be me than you. And then there will be a whole heartfelt moment between those two. This is again a thing where I feel like distance would matter. Because Gwendolyn, again, I think magic is better if you have some distance, but if Poppy gets her hand on Gwendolyn, I feel like she could beat her ass. I do think also, yeah, no, this is also gonna go to Gwendolyn. I feel like, just for the magic of it all. Ooh, oh, this is gonna be a fight, a nasty, nasty fight. Boomer has like 4 arms, so he can really get in there. But Fix arms, each arm counts for 2 arms, basically. You see those thick things? This is a brawl. Like, I could see them be evenly matched. So yeah, no, I think, however, it's gonna go to the Fix, because he is just the Fix. I feel he is way more this broody, brawly kind of character than Boomer was, if I remember correctly. Okay, now, Princess wins this one once again. Give her a fight, a challenge. And again, the Bloodkeep people going after each other, it only makes sense. Effing versus Leland. They both, I mean, have some magic to them, but again, if she can keep her distance, I feel like she is the better one to get this. But then again, in close combat, does Leland have... Doesn't he have, like, teleportation or something? I think there is something that he has there, because he saves himself from falling this way at some point. However, there's a whole thing in the season where it is kind of like, Leland, what are you doing? Why are you not able to fight? But it's just the dice. The dice were not on the side of the player, of Mark. No, Matthew. His name is Matthew, not Mark. I honestly could throw a dice. Should I throw a die? No, why not? This is Leaf related. This is my dice box. I just bought it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I like it a lot. It is handmade. Bought it at the market. Like, what's it called? When there are old-timey people in there. What's it called? Ferris market? No. You know what I mean. Now, let's see. I'm gonna say you are even and you are odds. So, it is odds. Ooh, she's a tiefling. And she is like the daughter of Hal's, Hal's biggest ambassador, I think. Even though Calm is really evil himself, like he has darkness inside him. He's not evil, but he has darkness inside him. I think that she is actually his match. Just one swing with this hammer, and I think she also has like some resistances to magic. So yeah, no, daughter versus mother. I'm just gonna give this to Ava, because I think she is more ruthless. Ooh, and yeah, this one goes to Tabitha. Like, I'm sorry, Miss Attention, but you cannot talk your way out of this one. Ooh, okay. I mean, if you're saying it is only close combat fighting, like no shooting involved, then Kronos is gonna take this. If the gun works of the army man, it looks different. However, I don't feel like it is an actual working gun. Probably it's just plastic. Now this, Adonis, I don't feel like Rue approves of your looks. And I mean, you also don't approve of your own looks, but Rue is gonna take this eyesore out of her vision. Ooh, Yugi and Jammer? Yeah, this goes to Jammer. Yugi is not really a fighter like that. Oh, the Fix versus Gwendolyn. Now, there could be an argument made if Gwendolyn is able to charm the Fix. That could be something, because the fairies are pretty charming, and that is kind of his weakness in a way, I would say. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it to him. Ooh, now this is gonna be also a great fight between those two, and I mean, they have been... Princess has not been to hell, but they have to be to the underworld, so is the Bloodkeep in hell or in the underworld? I think it's in the underworld as well, right? They call me biased, but I'm gonna give this to the prince. And this one, however, goes to Maggie, and definitely. Ooh, okay. I mean, it is a wrestling match for those two, definitely, and they are used to having a tournament and maybe to go up against each other. They're fine with that. Now, who would win? I'm gonna be honest, in Titan Takedown, Kronos felt somewhat more of the main character of them all. So I kind of want to give it to him, but I'm not sure if that's fair in when it comes to their fighting prowess. Because Tabitha also has her cat in the back. That's also a fun trick that she can pull out. You know what? Let's make another dice roll for these two, and I'm gonna say she is evens and he is odds, and we got odds again. So congratulations, Kronos. Okay. I mean, it's difficult because I want to give it to her, but he is fast. He's like not only a magic user, but he is also an athlete. So I think actually I'm gonna give this to Jammer because he can run away and use his magic from a distance, and I don't know what Rue would do against that. Oh, are those two? And now Kiss. But I don't feel like there would be a good matchup like that. Now we come a little bit in a problem because the Fix definitely would be a barbarian, but he doesn't come from that game system. But if anything, he would be. So we have kind of like two barbarians definitely going against one another. I'm gonna give this now, not biased, but I'm gonna give this to the princess because of the weapon. He has only his fists. Yes, they are great and gigantic even, but she has a huge axe. So I feel like that it comes down to that in this fight. And honestly, a similar argument could be made here, where I feel like we're now at the point where I think weapons are give you an edge over other people. And yeah, Maggie has a huge hammer, while Kronos doesn't really have anything. Like, he has a staff in his picture, but I don't feel like he fights with the staff, if I remember correctly. And even if so, a staff versus a hammer, like, the giant hammer is gonna take this. Giant hammer versus giant axe. Wow. I'm not sure what class Maggie was. I think she was a fighter. This is also a difficult one, but I don't want this to be a dice roll, because this is like the... one of those two is going to the finals, you know? I'm not sure if it makes any difference, but Maggie, of course, is pregnant, but again, maybe this point of the story, she isn't anymore. She had her kid. And I don't feel like she got like any special powers by her kid. I don't think that was anything. Something just tells me princess, and maybe this time it is bias. But yeah, let's give this to princess. And by the way, neither way, I love that we have two ladies up here going into the finale. That's great to see. Oh, I forgot about this. There's also Jammer on the left side, because it doesn't really work with the bracket system here that everybody gets the equal amount of fights, because there are not equal amount of people on each side, basically. Again, if she gets her hands on him, then it's a done deal. But he's an athlete. However, I remember distinctly in the first episode of Dungeons and Drag Queens, we get to know that Princess' movement speed is 40, which is higher than usual. Normally you're 30, so she is not only strong, but she's also fast. And therefore, I'm sorry, Jammer, but I feel like you will get an axe to your head. So next up we have Tutti versus Conrad Shinx. And none of them are fighters. This is interesting in a different way, where neither of them I would be able to see truly scrapping and throwing down. But if any of these two, I think it is Tutti, because Conrad, Conscience, his thing was kind of like he started hiding away, and she is at least a mummy, so I could see her be able to scrap a little bit. Okay, now we have Bean versus Lars, and yeah, this one is going to go to Lars, even though like Bean is not a bad fighter, but I feel like Lars is just, he's the muscle, and Bean, he fights with a Q-tip, so even if it's a giant Q-tip when they're like normal sized, I think Lars can take him on. Ooh, okay. This is Kinpin? No, Kinpin was the one from Spider-Verse, wasn't it? But you could switch them out, because they're clearly is inspired by the Spider-Verse villain. And therefore I'm also give him a little bit more treatment like a superhero villain. And yeah, he's gonna... sorry Sam, but you're in your little... what's the pig's name again? But you don't stand a chance. I don't feel like you can talk your way out of this. Even if the real-life version in mind, I think the character's name was Liv. And but I still don't see it, because Liv is kind of like, I don't know, just leave me alone, and crushes people's head without thinking. Ooh, yes, this is a sexy fight. This is gonna be a sexy fight. Jennifer Drips versus Troyan. And I think it is gonna be a close fight. I'm gonna give it to Troyan, I think. But Jennifer, if she can get the drop on her, like sneak up to her, then this is looking different. But we are thinking here about. I maybe should have said that, but I feel like this is kind of like an arena kind of deal, but plain arena, not any kind of what's it called. We're not in the Hunger Games. There's not like foliage, and there's not like some I don't know magma running around or water to jump into. And I mean, even the water would help out Troyan, but yeah, it's going to hurt. Now this one, I am gonna give it to Gertie. However, I feel like Gertie really has to scrap and fight because the toads are fast, and famously, Gertie doesn't like people near her. Like if you get close to her, it is almost over. I think she can do like a thunder wave and to push him back. I think oh god, Thorn something. Thornwall is his name. But this also is going to be a close fight between those two. So Tess versus Marcus. Okay, they're both like cool, suave guys. And this would be also a fun fight to see. But I'm gonna give this to Tess because, I mean, listen, to kill a cockroach is not an easy feat. And Marcus, I'm sorry, you're just the banished prince, not really too much to write home about. Like, a good fighter, but I feel like Tess, and maybe Tess is even cooler than you. I'm sorry to say it. Okay. I'm sorry, Head, you're gone. But I don't know. I mean, Kay, she has magic, but I don't see her as a fighter. Ooh, this the spider versus the butterfly in a way, versus the fairy. Lilith and Twyla. I mean, she's a fae of light and she's a warrior, but I feel Lilith is Lilith. You know, don't underestimate her. She is going to wrap you up and suck your blood out, Twyla. I'm sorry. Okay, these matches, I like them. I didn't look at them before. This, again, is randomized. Baxter and, oh god, Greg? Is that Greg Stocks? Yes, a pretty plain name in a way. And Greg wins this one. Like Mr. Stocks, they will just talk business, basically, and he knows how to talk to Baxter, and maybe it's not even the true fight, it is just kind of poisoning him, or like getting close enough to him to take him in a headlock and take him out that way. Yeah, Baxter, you try to talk your way out of it, but it's not going to work, buddy. Oh, wow, okay, but between these two, honestly, in the original series, I thought about moments where I'm like, Gangi could just kill the Wicker. Like, not that there was that it would happen, but I didn't feel like a good vibe between those two. But then again, Gangi didn't really have a good vibe with anybody. He was just grumpy all around, which it was fun. And yeah, the Wicker, I'm sorry, you will be with your lord. Bye. Oh, the blue M&M. Are you going to say no? Of course, our Jeff Manhattan will take it. I think it's Jack Manhattan. Now I'm confusing myself. Ooh, now this is interesting. Normally I would give it 7 because she is a vampire and she could just suck him dry, because Hans Courier is not really a fighter, but he has a lot of endurance. A lot of endurance. And I don't feel like he has blood. So, yeah. I mean, it would be an awful shame to see, like, the private eye killing a young woman, but I feel like this is what we're going to witness. And I just realized I'm talking about killing. It does not even have to be a fight to the death, does it? Well, but I decided it is by now, so, I thought, what's her name? I think Morgan or something. But I'm sorry, girlie, you're gone. Mr. Hop over here will take you out. Okay, Viola and Wetzel. I think your name is Wetzel. And yeah, Wetzel, I think he has no qualms to get dirty and fight dirty. Not to say that Viola wouldn't fight dirty, but she is not. I don't feel like she's up for it. Again, I think she's more of the talker than the fighter. So, Wetzel, it's you. Okay, and Terry versus Lind. Yeah, Terry, congratulations, you won. Ooh, this is gonna be a scrappy fight. I'm gonna give it to Vic Ethanol, but Squeak, is that what's her name? You think not Scream? Scream is the one is the side character from Fantasy High, but something similar. And I feel like he's going to be a little goblin and running around and biting his ankles basically. But Vic will be able to finally finish him. But it's gonna be a tough fight in the sense that he will be annoyed. Ooh, I don't even want to see this. Lars, you win, but the image of this, no. No, 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 no. Ooh, now Troyan and Kingpin, Kingskin, I don't know. For him, I think more of a supervillain from a superhero movie than from an action movie. So I'm kind of maybe giving him more grace than I should, but I feel like Troyan, I don't think you could do enough damage to take him out quickly enough. She could run away. She could run away and keep the distance, like kind of with the magic users that we have before, because she uses those arrows. And she has like poisonous arrows or like things that kind of slow him down, because like barnacles, like restraining arrow. So that could help to keep him far away from her. But if he gets there, it's the done deal. We're gonna do another roll. Troyan, you have the odds, and Kingston, you have the evens. And odd again. Wow, okay, I'm only rolling odd today. Now Gertie. Gertie. I'm sorry, but I feel like he's also fast enough to get to you, and yeah, killing a cockroach is just really difficult, even with magic. Like, I feel like cockroaches should have resistance to all damage types. So Tess, you win. Definitely. And here also, I don't feel like we need to talk too much about this. Lilith, this is yours. Now here again, we will have a fist fight, basically, or like at least close combat fight. And I don't know. I'm gonna think it's Mr. Starks, because he has some gadgets and tools. And sorry, Gangly, you have only your shuffle. Ooh, okay, the two detectives going against one another. I'm gonna give this to Mr. Manhattan, because he's literally a gun. I know that it's difficult to say about the emotions, how they're be able to hurt, because are they able to hurt? But for this thought experiment, yes, they need to, because otherwise it's kind of like they're indestructible, and then it is not really a fair fight. So we're going to give it to the man with the gun. Okay, another equal match, I would say. I'm going to give this to Wetzel, I think, because he's kind of like, he's not a zombie. No, he was actually kind of a human that wanted to become a vampire, but he was also already on the way of being Frankenstein's monster in a way. He had like this prosthetic arm, and he has like burn marks. I think it was burn marks. But then again, Hop is a fairy creature. Okay, come on, let's do another roll. Mr. Hop, your odds, and Wetzel, your evens. And today we have evens, so Wetzel, congratulations! Okay, both of Iffy's characters go up against each other. So we have is he a full werewolf or was he a half werewolf? I think he was a full werewolf, right? So yeah, Vic, I'm sorry. Even with your car, I feel like the werewolf will just jump on top of the car and tear the hood off and tear you out of your seat. So, Terry, you go. Okay, now this one, I'm gonna give to Troyan. This is kind of an easier one than the one before. Ooh. Okay, the only thing that could kill a cockroach I could see is another... Well, spiders are not insects, but yes, a spider definitely would just a cockroach and eat it up. So, Lilith? Ooh, so we have basically our James Bond versus our, I don't know, Tomorrow Never Dies, or what's it called? Die Hard kind of character. So, our basically one of the two archetypes for I want to always say superheroes, action movie stars. And I'm gonna give it to the James Bond-esque character. Call it a bias, but I kind of like these kind of movies more. So I think he has some gadgets. He has his gadgets to win this fight. Okay, Wetzel versus Terry. Now, Terry is pretty high, but I think Terry is a werewolf. He can turn into a werewolf. I'm not sure how the lore is, if it is only on full moon. I have not seen it in a while. But yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna go with him. With Terry! Ooh, these two baddies. Now, Troyan. Lilith has also, ranged weapons and can be in close combat. She can web you up. She is really formidable, I realize right now. Don't take her lightly. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to her this time. I'm sorry, Troyan, you came really far. Now, if we go with the werewolf motif, Greg Stocks, this is where you end your journey, but you also came further than I would have expected, so congrats for you. But Terry, let's tear up the finale. Not quite. This is the or half finale. Oh god, how you say this in English? In German, it's just half finale. The penultimate fight, is that what you call it? I think something like this. And I will give it to Lilith. Werewolf Boy, this is as far as you will get. This is interesting. I didn't really think that she will be the one that goes this far. And there we have it, our final. Princess from Dungeons and Drag Queens versus Lilith from Escape from a Bloodkeep. Now, if Lilith is wise, she will try to keep her distance because then the odds are more in her favor. But I don't feel like she doesn't have like ranged weapons that are super strong. If I remember correctly, she definitely has a web. Now, I think, however, Troyan, no, I'm sorry, Princess will be able to get out of her webs. However, how is Princess going to get Lilith if Lilith like walks up the wall or like is up on the ceiling? But I try to say that this is like an arena fight, you know, where it's basically, I mentioned something, those who have seen Dragon Ball know what kind of arena I'm talking about, where it's like the first tournament kind of thing. I don't know how the tournament is called in Dragon Ball, I forgot about that. But yeah, you know what I mean, what I have in mind. So when I keep thinking about that, I honestly think, wow, I think Princess would win. Like she would charge in there, and definitely it would be a hard fight. It wouldn't be easy, and Lilith would use magic and her talents alike. But Princess might be able to power through it. Like, call it bias, I don't care, but I think Princess is the one. I didn't plan this. I just went into this with any thoughts about it. But Lilith would give her a run for her money, definitely. If you at home think Lilith would win this fight, please let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna give this to Princess. And there she is, our winner. Congratulations, you deserved it. Wow, that was a hard battle for you. Well, even though the first two battles that she had were kind of easy because she went up against the Stoat and what else? Was the first one that you fought? Like something where I was just like, yeah, no, you win. Oh yeah, like the Prince of the Ice Court of the Fane Flower people. Yes. Now I'm gonna look up something real quick because I realized. Wow, okay. I just saw that last time with the Intrepid Heroes, I say that Gorgok wins. Gorgok is the winner in the Intrepid Heroes category, and now we have Princess. So 2 Orc Barbarians. I mean, listen, it is a great combo in D&D for a reason. It is designed to be the tank, to be the biggest damage dealer, just like throw them in there. And when it's just about fighting, it makes sense that they're gonna win. Because that is literally how they're designed. And tropes can be like, you know that people like to subvert tropes, but sometimes there are tropes for a reason, you know? So I hope you enjoy this. Again, I'm gonna do other versions of this in the future, so please follow and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Same does liking and commenting. I do it the same with all the content creators I want to support online. It is the easiest and cheapest way to do so. Please let me know in the comments if you think anybody of these characters would end up the strongest and not Princess. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Now I want to wish you all a great day and we'll see us next time. Bye!